Hey, folks. Good evening. How are you? I want to welcome you. My name is Dr. Klein. I'm Associate Dean of Pathways. Yes. And thank you for coming tonight. I want to first of all say that we're all extraordinarily proud that you're here, that you're working hard, that you're pumped and ready to go for tomorrow. I've seen some of the posters. They look fantastic. And so I have a really, really good time tonight and have a really good time tomorrow. Imagine you're in a movie theater and you are with your date and you have some popcorn and you're ready to go, and this very annoying person comes to the front. He thinks he's funny, he cracks some jokes, and then he tells you to turn off your cell phone. I'm that guy. Please turn off your cell phone. It's only an hour, I swear to God. You can turn it on after it's done. Number two, we'd like you to pay close attention and quiet attention to the performance. Respect for the performers. And finally, I want to say that there'll be a Q&A afterwards, so please stay around for that. Now I have the pleasure and honor to present to you Dr. Christopher West. He's a professor of history. He's the coordinator for the Campus Diversity Initiative. He's the curator for the Jackie Robinson Lecture Series, and he's a College One instructor. He's going to tell us about the performance we're going to see tonight. Christopher?
Theater is the opportunity to tell story. And story, in many ways, is what you've been engaging as you've been reading Kindred. This is an enhanced stage reading in 2 pictures in 1. And so what I want you to do as you are getting the opportunity to experience this reading is to reflect, is to think. This is the capstone experience for One Book, One College, which means it's an opportunity for you to take in everything that you have done for the term. All the reading in Kindred, all the work that you've done on the posters, all the experiences with your faculty members, and all the engagement with this wonderful book that is by an alumnus of this institution. We live in extraordinary times, and artists in many ways help to tell us stories, to get us through extraordinary times, to move to greatness. Sit back and enjoy this enhanced stage reading of 2 pictures in 1.
Two Pictures in 1 by Paul Millet, based on the short story The Two Altars, or 2 Pictures in 1 by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Kitchen area of the Ward family, Massachusetts, winter 1777.
Kitchen area of the Caffey family, Massachusetts, winter 1850.
Roxy busies herself preparing dinner. She's tired and has been hard at work all day, tending the home and watching over her children. Dick bursts in.
Mama! Mom, I'm back.
Wipe your feet.
Yes, ma'am. I'm hungry. What's for dinner?
Salted rabbit and pickled cabbage.
Oh,
There will be none of that, young man.
I'd be just as happy with potatoes.
And what shall I tell your brother? We are blessed, Dick, and you know it. Your brother captured 3 rabbits last week, a fortune this time of year.
I know. I just don't like the taste of rabbit.
Beggars can't be
Choosers. I know, Mama.
Where's your hat?
Oh, I've gave it up for liberty.
What?
Gracie, Franklin, and I made a fort of a woodpile, likes of which the red girls would never get through. I did it for liberty, just like Pa. Gracie said we needed a flag, so we used my hat. Ain't that grand, Mama?
Child, it's a Massachusetts winter. You're gonna catch your death.
I'm all right, Mama. Pa said in his last letter that half his men don't even have hats. They could do it, so can I. All for liberty.
Good boy. Always remember everything your father writes. He has sacrificed so much on the altar of liberty, and I hope that you will live to do the same, but I don't want you running around without a hat. I'll give you a scrap you can use for your flag.
Yes, ma'am.
Now go wash up. Your brother will be home soon. Dinner's about ready.
Yes, ma'am. And when you done, come sit by me.
Yes, ma'am.
Mary, I want to hear you read. You're reading better than me and your papa.
You think so, Ma? You really think so?
Of course, child. You're fortunate we live in Massachusetts. What a comfort it is for one's children to be getting learning so.
I love reading, Ma.
Well, go on. Sit yourself down and read me something from the Bible.
We having dumplings tonight?
The very same.
Do you want me to help?
I want you to read. Go on now.
Yes, ma'am. What part?
You choose.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Why are you crying, Mama?
I'm not crying, silly girl. You go on now.
You sure look like you're crying, Mama.
Hush now. Set the table, please.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Mom, guess what?
What?
I can fire off a gun. I tried it last week when I was out to store. Mama, I wish you'd let me clean and load Pa's old gun. If the British should come, we'd be ready for them.
I doubt the British will make their way this far west of Boston.
Pa didn't let them, right, Mama?
That's right.
I think Pa's the bravest in the world. I'm gonna be just like Captain Tickford, just like Pa.
If we're lucky, there won't be any need for you to fight at all.
Oh, why not, Mama?
This war won't last forever, son. Soon those redcoats will realize that we must have our freedom.
And liberty, right, Mama?
That's right.
Just like in Boston when they threw the tea away. What was it about tea, Mama? What did it have to do with liberty?
The British placed a tax on it that they had no right to lay. It was meant to take away our rights and make us slaves to a foreign power.
Slaves? Us? Pa, too?
Your papa's been a free man for the past 12 years. That's why you have the chance to read like you just did.
How come Papa didn't learn to read when he was a boy?
They don't teach Negroes to read down in Georgia.
Why not?
Child, down here, Negroes is property. They ain't free. Not like here.
Was you ever property, Ma?
Never. Your mama's best to be born free right here in Massachusetts.
Just like me.
That's right.
'Cause great-grandpa Willie fought for freedom?
During the battle.
Of Trey, New Jersey?
That's right, child. Not many Negroes fought for this country, but your great-grandpa did.
So, how come Papa wasn't free then, down in Georgia?
Well, child, they passed laws when this country was new, allowed people to own Negroes, especially down south.
Oh, but great-grandpa was still a hero, right, Mama?
Oh, to all people, Negroes and whites.
Good. Did you read when you were a little girl like me, Ma?
Well, I had some folks from the church teaching me some words, mostly on my own. I didn't have a school like you. Now, I know they say it ain't as good as the white school, but you got a school, Mary. Our life's full of blessings.
And I count them every day.
Papa! Well, George, what's the news?
Well, nothing. Only put a smart day's work. I brought home $5 and shall have as much as I can do these 2 weeks.
Ooh, well, it takes you to bring in the money. Nobody but you could turn off that much in a day, huh?
Hype is a lot, right, Mama?
We in tall cotton, baby girl.
I love you, Papa.
And those that had me once say they never want any other hand take hold in their rooms. I suppose it's a kind of practice I got, and kind of natural.
You like to paint, Papa?
Oh, yes, I do, baby girl. Calms my nerves. And I'm good at it, too. Not a bad way to make a living, eh, man?
I tell you what, we getting mighty rich now. We can afford to get married that new Sunday bonnet.
New Sunday bonnet? How'd you like that, baby girl?
Can I get the pink one?
Any color you want.
Yes. We doing all right, ain't we, George?
Never been better.
They would not be slaves. They saw clearly how it would all end, and they would not begin to submit to it in ever so little. It wasn't for themselves alone they did it. This country, if it is a free one, will be a light in the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hid, and all the oppressed and distressed from other countries shall come here to know equal rights and freedom.
And liberty, right, Mama?
Liberty, too. That, dear boy, is why your father has gone off to fight. Why he leads his men through God knows what.
Hello, Mother.
Well, John, what's the news?
Commissioner's in town collecting supplies for the front.
Did you talk to them? Who is it?
I didn't see him, but I was told they need stockings and blankets. And this, a letter from Pa.
Oh, thank goodness.
Let me. Can I, Mama?
Of course. It's been so long since his last one.
It's been tough getting messages through.
I know.
My dearest Roxanne, my heart and bones ache as I write this, my love. There's still so much suffering. I have given away every pair of stockings you sent me, reserving only one to myself. Poor fellows, I go around among them and see them with their worn clothes and torn shoes, and often bleeding feet. But then out comes General Washington's orders. They all resolve to hold on. And you won't believe this. Negroes joined all ranks. Ain't that something? Negroes fighting to liberate these colonies. Truly a sight. My dear, I sent commissioners going all over the countryside to pick up supplies. When they come to you, I need not tell you what to do.
I from Scranton told me the commissioners had come as far as 3 Mile Tavern, but that he rather expected they'd be around here tonight.
And we must be ready for them.
I can send my new overcoat.
Why not your old one?
My old one's got some holes in it. You can mend. Ma, these soldiers need the best we can give them. Dick, let's give them all our stockings except 2 pair. You can make more, right, Ma?
Of course. Dick, go fetch the wedding blankets from the cedar chest.
Yours and Paul's?
Yes, go.
Ma,
Yes.
I've been wanting to talk to you about something.
Well, go on.
Well, I'm 15 now. Nearly a man, or so Pa would say, and... Well, I think it's time that...
Look, we've got so much to fight for liberty.
Later. After dinner.
We'll be ready for 'em.
What you mean?
You got to be ready for anything, George.
I ain't in Georgia no more, man.
That don't matter. You still colored. And Harriet says the new laws that passed holds the police responsible for picking up former slaves. She's seen the posts round town. And officers get fined if they don't arrest Negroes.
What do these policemen do, Ma?
Never you mind, baby girl. Ain't no one gonna bother your papa. I's a free man now. Been so for 12 years.
What's it like in Georgia, Papa?
Georgia's a beautiful country. Just beautiful. But it ain't a good place for Negroes. No freedoms in Georgia. Down there, you's proper rich white folk. Some ain't so bad. Most, though. You never going to Georgia, baby girl. Where'd you get these oysters, May?
Oh, Harriet got a barrel of them, offered them up special, just for a treat, you know?
Well, we both work hard for our money. We don't know anybody's cent. So why shouldn't we have our treats now and then as well as rich folk?
Hey, are we rich, Papa?
I tell you, these times are quite another thing than what they used to be down south. I remember then old Master used to hire me out about a year. One time I remember I came and paid him $200. $200. Every cent I'd taken. He just looked it over, counted it, put it in his pocketbook, and say, "You're a good boy, George." and gave me $50.
$50?
That's all. You believe that? I get blisters on my hands and feet, and he give me no more than 4 bits. I don't even get new shoes for the winter.
Well, Lord be praised, those days is over.
Hallelujah.
But you just watch yourself. Harriet says they don't even give you a jury trial. George, you still colored, and the police know you.
That's right. They know me. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
If you say so. Well, come on then. Time for the blessings.
Dear Heavenly
Father, kind and good, we thank you for our daily bread. We thank you for your love and care, and our families home and safe. Be with us, O Lord.
Who that?
It's not.
I'll get it. Mary, wait. Back here, Mary.
Good evening, young sir. Is your mother in?
I am.
Yes. I'm Corporal Frederick Jacobson. This is Corporal Charles Wells.
Evening.
We're here on orders from Captain Thomas Ward. Now, if you have any blankets or stockings, you
I
can
know the
spare
reason for your visit, corporals. My husband is Thomas Ward, you see.
It's an honor to meet you, Mrs. Ward. Your husband, he's a hero to many of us.
Thank you.
He has served his country well.
Indeed he does.
Mrs. Ward, I don't want
Gentlemen, please, come in, sit down. My sons, Dick and John, we've been collecting the goods you need for the fight.
You have?
Yes, we've been expecting you.
There he is.
As expected. George Caffey of Marietta, Georgia.
Hey, what is this?
You under arrest in the name of the United States.
I'm not talking to you.
And you will address both of us with the proper respect.
What's the charge?
You are the property of Mr. Francis Broward.
I've been a free and hard working man these past 12 years. Hey, ain't you know that now?
George, Mr. Broward never granted your freedom.
Please. What are these?
You need to quiet her down. Now.
Freedom can only be granted by the owner, George. No, I'm sorry, but you are a fugitive slave. I hereby place you under arrest under Article 4, Section 2 of the United States Constitution.
Hey, please!
Know what I say about the proper respect. Now, Mr. Broward wants his property back.
George, I would strongly advise you to surrender peacefully. Please, for your family's sake.
Make them stop. Why did that make him pop? Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes.
Mrs. Ward, this is really too much.
Nonsense. The men on the front need these goods. My husband described the conditions in his letters.
You received a letter recently?
Just today, Pa fights for liberty, and we must give up whatever we can to fight.
Freddie, they haven't heard.
Oh, dear God.
What?
Do you know my Pa?
I met him once.
What's wrong?
Mrs. Ward, this really isn't our place. We should go.
Freddie, we can't just leave now.
What's happened?
Charlie, we need to go. We have many rounds.
What aren't you telling us?
Mama, what's wrong?
It's Thomas, isn't it?
Mrs. Ward, thank you so much for this. The men really do appreciate it.
Father's dead.
Oh my God.
You lie, John. Pa's fighting for freedom.
Mrs.
Those
Ward.
filthy redcoats.
You're a liar.
We thought you
have to pay!
Dick, please! Please, sirs. Please just tell us what happened.
General Washington ordered a secret campaign against the Hessian soldiers in New Jersey on Christmas night. They crossed the Delaware River at night, engaged the enemy in Trenton. Captain Ward led his garrison valiantly. General Washington said so. But I'm sorry, I thought you got in the news.
Oh, dear God. Thomas.
Your husband is a hero, Mrs. Ward. He took down 4 Hessians before they got to him. More men are enlisting every day because of the Battle of Trenton. We can win this war, Mrs. Ward. We can claim back our freedom because of men like Captain Ward.
Wasn't that what so many men gave their lives for? Freedom? There were Negroes fought alongside white men 70 years ago for freedom from the British.
Slaves don't count.
I'm not talking about slaves. Free black men fought to release this country from the hands of those British. Negroes died for your freedom. Both of you. My grandfather, born free, and died fighting for that freedom in Trenton, New Jersey.
Enough of this! Please. May, your husband is still the property of Mr. Francis Broward of Georgia.
And how'd Mr. Broward find George living all the way up here? He's been a free man here in Boston for the past 12 years. He's got a respectable job and pays his taxes to our great Commonwealth, don't you, George?
Yeah, just like you.
So how'd they find him? Well,
We got sworn testimonies from officials all over the city. Ain't that right, Hank?
officials? Oh, dear Lord. Hey!
Let's go! You just be glad we don't decide she's a fugitive too.
You can't do that.
You know the penalty for harboring a fugitive slave is $1,000 and 6 months in jail. You may just want to watch your mouth.
It's the law, May.
Now let's go.
What you doing ain't lawful.
That's enough.
Philip, I got a time. George, you stay down now.
Wait, no.
Boy, I don't care how long you've been living here in Boston. You're a fugitive from Georgia, and according to the Constitution of the United States, you ain't never been a free man. We're going to deliver you back to your rightful place as such.
Go to your mama. Now!
God damn it, Philip.
What? We'll be leaving now. Evening, man.
I'm going too.
What?
To fight. I'm going.
What?
You're gonna fight for liberty, John?
Hush. I'm gonna go pack some things.
Stop.
What,
You're
Mom?
not going anywhere.
Can I go too, John?
Dick, please.
Pa's been killed, Ma. I gotta go.
No, sir.
I gotta take his place.
Your place is here.
I got Dick.
No fair. I'm gonna fight for liberty too.
Dick,
Just like Pa.
please. John, you're just a boy.
I'm 15, Ma. A man. You say so all the time. It's time I acted like one. I gotta go.
No.
All day, you go on and on about how this war is gonna free us all from slavery to the British, and you share Pa's letters and stories. You believe in this war, don't you, Ma? Don't you believe in freedom?
Yes. Yes, I believe in freedom and liberty and the need to fight for it. But I also believe in my family. I just want my men home and safe again.
I will come home, Ma, I promise.
You can't promise me that, John, and you know it.
This war is important, Ma. Not just to us or to Pa, but to everybody. This country, if it is a free one, will be a light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hid. You say that, Ma. All the time.
I know.
Please, Ma.
Mama, I'll steer a few. Let John go fight for liberty. I'll steer a few.
Make sure you take extra stockings.
Yes, Mom, I will.
Now Now you pay attention in school, Mary.
When's Papa coming home?
Never you mind.
Mama, another letter from John.
What's it say?
Victory in Saratoga. Not sure when I'll be home, Ma, but we can win this war. General Washington is fearless. We've taken back much of New York, and here the French may join our cause.
Gentlemen, gentlemen, gentlemen. Now we have a specimen here that some of your northern abolitionists would pay any price for, but they shan't have him.
Strong as an ox, worth the investment.
When can I see Papa again?
You can't see your papa, girl.
Why not, Mama? Why not?
This country's gonna be great. Huh, Mama?
This cursed country won't allow it.
Yes.
The man that buys this specimen must give bonds never to sell him to go north again. The Constitution of this great country will never allow it.
Now the starting bid is at $50. $50 for this hardy piece.
The resolve of the men is steadfast.
I want my papa. Now you going off to school like a good girl. Make your papa proud.
Oh, John, your pa would be so proud of you.
The bid is now at $80. Can I get $80?
Your papa wanted you to get an education.
You will be free.
And never to be bound in shackles to anyone ever again.
Can I get a...
Soon be free.
All of us. One day.
Thanks to your brother, your father.
We will win this war, Ma.
One day.
We will all be free.
So! The director as well as the cast is going to join us on stage. I want you to just turn to the person next to you, thoughts and reactions. Turn to the person next to you, thoughts and reactions. Take a couple of minutes, go. Just you. All right. Okay. All right. So, going to have the director for the play talk a little bit about both the motivation for it and why. So why this play? Why now?
Well, actually, I'm the playwright. I actually adapted the play. The director is a gentleman by the name of Darren Anthony, and he actually is not with us tonight. So you have me, the playwright, for the play. I developed this piece actually. The company that I founded with two other partners is a company called Unbound Productions. And what we do is we take classic literature, great literature, and create new works, new plays out of that and present them in alternative venues. And this piece was created for a project called History Lit, which is ways at looking at history in creative ways, taking literature that has some sort of historical significance and in creating a piece of drama, a play out of that, and then presenting it hopefully in a compelling fashion. So when we were looking at our first set of plays back in 2012, we were partnered with the Pasadena Museum of History at the time, and we were specifically looking at plays written by or stories written by female writers that we would then adapt to present for this project called History Lit. And I knew that I was interested in Harriet Beecher Stowe's work. Her work as a writer, as an abolitionist, obviously was instrumental in the paradigm shift in this nation, which of course led to the Civil War and the eventual 13th Amendment. But her work is compelling, and of course she's most known for Uncle Tom's Cabin. But I wanted to find another piece because the play needed to be a short play to fit within the confines of our project called History Lit. So I read a lot of her work, a lot of her lesser-known works, pretty much obviously all dealing with and the abolition of slavery. And I came across this story. And the original story is called The Two Altars, or Two Pictures in One. And what struck me in the original text was the juxtaposition of two families from two different eras and what freedom meant to them and what they're willing to do to get that freedom. The story is structured with basically two chapters. The first chapter is set in during the Revolutionary War, and it specifically tells the story of a white family who is making sacrifices for the United States, the colonies, to become the United States and to claim their freedom from the British Empire. The second chapter dealt with the Caffey family, both families were in Massachusetts, and the year was 1850, after Congress passed the Fugitive Slave Act, which basically not only allowed, but basically instructed police officers in the northern states to arrest and send free men who would escape slavery back to the South and back into slavery. The Fugitive Slave Act was passed in 1850, and this was Harriet Beecher Stowe's response to that. So I loved the juxtaposition. I was compelled by the idea of what freedom meant. Freedom from of a nation to free itself from being under the rule of another nation, and juxtaposed with, individual freedom. An individual, a family who wants to be free and to live their lives and to make the choices that they need to make and want to make as a family, and what that means to them. And what's fascinating, and I thought is ironic about just the nature of the country, was that our Constitution was drafted by our founding fathers. The idea that all men are created equal, but they were not. And slavery was very much inherent in the fabric of this nation from its founding. So I thought the juxtaposition was so compelling because you saw these two families, and it's so personal. They're fixing dinner. They're about to have dinner, and their worlds are torn apart under very different but similar circumstances, if that makes sense. So the idea that a country would be created to allow personal freedom, but not for everyone, I found that just so ironic and compelling, and it just is. It's the history of our nation, and it's something that obviously we're still grappling with to this day. So anyway, I've been talking for quite a bit, but that's the genesis of the play, was finding this story and looking at the parallels and the juxtaposition of the two families.
Awesome. We're joined by one of the cast members. Can you introduce yourself and your character and talk about what you found interesting about your character?
Hi, I am Malaysia Simone, and I played Mary in the Caffey family. And what I found interesting about Mary was that she gets to learn all these new things she thought she had millions of talks with her mother beforehand, but she's still learning new things. And she's not understanding because the stories that her mother's telling her is not really connecting, and so it's not really making sense to her, like how her grandfather fought for freedom and how they supposedly they got the freedom, but yet my father wasn't free. And so she had to really her mother really had to explain like it in ways that Mary can understand. And so this knock at the door is something she was totally not prepared for, my character. And so yeah, it just got crazy.
Questions from the audience. We've got 2 live mics up front, so if you want to have a question for either the cast or the playwright, come on up and in front of the mic. As we've got 2 more cast members joining, if you could introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your character, that'd be great. And while they're doing that, if anybody wants to come up, the 2 mics are there.
Hey guys, my name is Jacquelin Schofield, and my character, if you were paying attention, was May Caffey. She was African-American woman. She was born free in Boston, Massachusetts in 1850. And for those of you who are history majors, you know 1850 was the year that they enacted the Thank you. I thought I was waiting for somebody to like shout it out, but you know, nobody did. So she is in a really tough spot because she's never been a slave. She doesn't have that life experience. And so for her to be married to George, and then all of a sudden these slave catchers are going bananas and they're going all over the country looking for former slaves, it's a tough spot because she's scared for her daughter. She's scared for her husband. She doesn't know what's going to happen. She's hearing all of these things. And so she's got a lot going on emotionally on the inside. And she's not really prepared to share with her little girl all of this adult type subject matter. So I said a lot.
My name is Caleb Slavens. I played Corporal Frederick Jacobson in the Revolutionary War scene, and then in the 1850 scene, I was Officer Henry, and then I was the auctioneer at the end.
We were a lot.
Did you play George too?
I didn't play George. You played George. Here you go.
I'm Tony Williams, and I played George Caffey, as you probably picked up on. I, in the play, am a former slave who escaped from Georgia about 12 years prior to when we picked up in the play, and I had gotten to the point where I started to trust people again, and I picked up some jobs, and I felt like my future was great, and that's when everything kicked off, as you saw happen over there. I'm not going to talk as much as Jacquelin.
Whatever. My name is Connor Scott, and I played John in the Revolutionary War scene, and I became a soldier in the end, which is pretty cool. Exciting. It's very exciting.
Questions, please. The cast and playwright would love to have any questions, either connecting it to Kindred or just general questions. Nobody. Don't be shy. If you're in my class, you get extra credit.
I have a question. For the cast and for the playwright. So I understand that this play was produced earlier this summer, and also for your experiences tonight, can you talk about audience reaction and what people have either said to you or what you felt as you're performing this play? And has that changed since the summer and with tonight?
Sure. It's really interesting because when the play when we opened this play this past summer, we actually produced it originally in 2012, and then we produced it again this summer. When we first, the week we opened, I can't remember exactly which one it was, and that's terrifying because there's so many of them. But there was a case of police brutality on an African American man. and it was followed by the shootings of a police officer in Baton Rouge. And those all happened the week prior to, or the week of our opening. And it just, the resonance the play suddenly had, and the audience reaction was one of, wow, we're still dealing with the aftermath of the slavery and how it has colored our race relations, even to this day. So. I know, right? Right? I got upstaged by Mr. Bundlie over there. We love you. Bradley, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Bradley. I'm playing Dick Ward. My dad is in the army fighting, and we realize in the story that you know that he's dead.
That's pretty quick.
So, thank you, Bradley. But yeah, it was amazing to me that the reaction, the visceral reaction that people had to seeing the play in the summer. After it seemed on a weekly basis there was another incident that involved a person of color being victimized or killed. I don't know. The audience definitely felt it, and they definitely felt there was a resonance to it, and the idea of race relations and how our history, all the way back to the founding, has influenced how we get along today, is so profound. So. Yeah, there were a lot of audience members who came up to me and they were weeping at the end of the show and didn't quite know how to express themselves. So to me that meant that it had a resonance. So, anybody else want to speak to that?
I was just going to say, it brings up the question, are we ever going to stop fighting amongst ourselves? Like, it's still going on today. Like, it's with the election results coming in. It's like, okay, we're still a nation divided. I mean, these plays, even with the time jump that they had, it's just proving the same thing over and over again. Like, when are we going to become one?
When we did the play this summer, a lot of people would come to me and tell me how effective that last tableau where George is on the auction block and everybody is, and his wife and daughter are crying, and that whole scene, how much that affected them. And I remember this summer, there were many shows where during that scene I could hear, it was almost like a choir of sniffles. It was crazy. So it's a very powerful thing because it reminded us and reminded people this summer especially how much that kind of thing is still going on, maybe different forms, but it's still going on. And I thought that when we came back to do it this time, that I would have to fight to regain what I had gotten to for the summer, but literally just touching those shackles, it is still this flood of emotion. I don't know if it's DNA from history or whatever, but even when we were rehearsing it this week and trying to make light of moments and stuff, just those shackles being with me wouldn't allow me to come back to reality, pretty much. So it's very powerful, especially if you look at what's going on today, especially with the recent election and the things that could happen with that. So it's very effective. Whoever wrote that, great job.
Anybody else?
So I also heard the sniffles, and I saw people after the show were crying, but since the time period that I was in, it wasn't quite as deep. I got more things like, gosh, she's such a bratty child, leaving his family, going off to war. So I got stuff like that. But no. But I could definitely see how it affected different people. Some people said that this show is a true form of patriotism, and other people said that it shows how the nation is divided. It was just really interesting to see the different groups of people saying different things about the show.
Yes, what he said. and
We have a question from the audience.
Thank you. Raise your hand if you like the show.
I love that kid. You're on.
You're great, by the way. Sex, politics, religion, race, all taboo subjects. We touched upon politics and, of course, race. May I ask about religion? In your play, as Mary was reading the 23rd Psalm, an affirmation of safety, God is my shepherd, I shall fear no evil. How does the African American community reconcile faith and continued faith in light of oppression?
You would. Okay. Well, personally, I think that, the African American church played a pivotal role, especially during the civil rights era. Today, because of everything that has happened, like, things have just escalated. And so once again, we find ourselves in a position where people do need to hear from us, whether they believe or not. I believe people still look to the church, whether it's the African American church or whatever, just a church to be able to speak to, because for those who believe, God is love. And so love covers a multitude of sins. And I just think it's important. We focus so much today on the differences that we have. And this country, as everyone has said, is still very much divided. But I think if we could just tap into that love thing, really, for real, things could get better. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but that's my answer.
I'll chime in. I'll chime in too. And I'll be honest, I can't remember what the question was, but I'm going to try. Having grown up in Alabama, as a young black man in Alabama, I grew up in a Baptist church. So it was and still is a large foundation of how I deal with what is clearly oppression today for all people. And I try to use that foundation that I've had growing up in the church to help others, to help myself, to help me get through things, even people that don't believe in God. That's not for me to judge. I wish most of my brethren would see that. I'm not a judge to do that, but it's a foundation to help me get through it. And I think it helps a lot of the black population, especially those who grew up in the church. It helps them get through it as well. So that's how I feel about it. But I don't even know if that answered the question either.
I don't know.
Was that even close?
I don't know.
Bradley?
We've got another question.
So were there other factors besides the story you told us before that inspired you to write this specific play?
Other factors? I mean, it was... I can't really speak to any other specific factors. Like I said, it was really just the ironic juxtaposition of freedom and slavery and what it means to these two families in two different eras and two different situations, and the irony of fighting to free a country where everyone was created equal, right? Everyone is created equal, but not really. That irony is, I think it still sticks with me to this day. Don't know if that answered your question, but.
Yeah. So after watching the play, I still feel the tension, between either father, passing away in a war, or father being taken away because of the slave. So my question is, even being as a playwright, or you guys and girls, playing it or during rehearsal, do you guys still feel that tension, after rehearsal? Get what I mean?
Anybody want to tackle that one? Leisha?
I'll tell you, it does take a little bit of time for it to die down. I know I look just like Alicia, but I'm sorry, daughter. Go ahead.
Well, it's actually funny because the first time we actually put on this production, I never really felt like I never seen my mom get slapped. I never seen my dad get taken away. So I really couldn't connect with it at first. I just had my imagination with me. But now it's different because I still haven't seen my mom get slapped, but I did refer the father situation from my late father over the summer. So now I really know how to feel about that. So yeah.
That was great. That was great.
Question?
Hi, great performance, by the way. Thank you, I appreciate it. Morgan Freeman has gone on record to say that he doesn't believe in such a thing as Black History Month, that it should be abolished, that it propagates segregation even to this day, that all Black history is American history, that American history does include Black history. I know that I myself, as an immigrant from a Hispanic country, I would hate to see a Latino history or Latino Heritage Month, because it just simply segregates me even further from the population of the United States. It makes me feel like less of an American. It creates hyphen American as opposed to we're all Americans. How do you reconcile the idea as actors such as yourself or performers with what Morgan Freeman has to say in regards to Black history not being Black history, it is simply American history?
I understand what both of you feel with that. I think that the necessity of Black History Month when it was created was crucial, because there was so much fight just to get us to be able to walk down the street without getting hurt, without getting lynched, just to be able to drink water somewhere. There was such a struggle with that for so long. You had to take a drastic measure just to bring to the forefront that we existed and that we were human. So the fact that it was created was to set it aside and say, okay, look, these people are human. It was like a yelling. It was like, hey, hey, hey. Now what happens to it from here on out, I think it's still needed, because clearly things are still going on in this country. But the creation of it, I understand why. I understand where somebody would think, okay, it's just segregating us more, but the creation of it was because there was such a struggle just to get us to be human, that you have to take an entire month to say, look, we're human. That's how much it took, and it still hasn't worked when you think about it. And maybe you might say it's counterintuitive and it's causing a lot of this, but when you think about it, we're still going through it, and we've just gotten to where we are, and we kind of had a setback recently, but still the fight still goes on, and it had to be done just to let people know we were on this planet and that we weren't dogs or animals. And I feel like it was necessary.
Thank you.
We've got time for 2 more questions. 2 more. Yes.
This took a lot of courage from a communications major, but I would like to know, what can we do as students to help end segregation? If you have any ideas.
Well, the very first step is just educating yourself. I mean, that's the truth of killing ignorance in all forms, is just becoming more intelligent about things. So as a student in a college, you're already on the path. That's it. I mean, that's what I have to say.
Last question.
It's just to dovetail on that. It's about education, and even more than education, I think. In addition to, it's about understanding. It's about learning factually things that have happened, but also working and being consciously trying to gain an understanding of how someone who is different, what is their culture like? How do they behave? How do they interact? We're all people. We all, put our pants on the same way. But there are differences, and it's about understanding what those differences are and learning by educating yourself and by creating an understanding. It allows you to be empathetic. And by being empathetic, that allows you to, in my opinion, come together as one, because this is just another human being. And they go through the same struggles as you do. So, I don't know if that answers your question either, but there you go.
I apologize for being so vocal tonight. I'm usually like quiet, believe it or not. The way I see it happening, if you think about it, no baby comes out of the womb and says, oh my God, I don't like that person of the other color. So the way to do it is to teach your children not to be segregated. Teach your children about it, and don't be quiet about it if you see it happening. I think there's some for and against this protesting thing going on, but I think if we're quiet about things, they'll just persist. And I think it starts with the family. The people that are racist and segregated and misogynistic and all that, that's taught. Children don't come out of the womb doing that. So you can start it all with your children. You know what I mean? That's all I got.
I was really happy that you guys brought up the education and the difference in the education. You talked about the young lady being in school, and this is you're the first to have actually a school. And some of the reading that we've been doing in College One has a vein of that education piece being very, very important, and it being an equalizer in diversity. So I think you just touched upon it, that education is extremely important to make it an equalizer, both at home and at school. So my question is, the young man earlier said that Black History Month is probably not a good idea, or Hispanic History Month is not a good idea, but how do you feel about having a more integrated education system with more of minority history being infused into K through 12 education? What's your opinion on that? How you guys feel about that?
I think that's necessary. I think that's the problem from the beginning, is that it wasn't and still isn't effectively being taught in the amount that it should be. I don't think it's well-rounded at all at this point even. So I'm all for that. All for that. So, and in fact, going back to what the earlier gentleman said, I feel like if we get history being taught from K through 12 and in schools, period, the way it should be, Black History Month might not be necessary anymore. So,
My only addition to that, I grew up in pretty much all-white farm town Oregon, and our first introduction to Black people was slavery. And that was one of those things where I was like, as I'm, later looking back, I was like, that's a very negative image of any race for the first time, of the abuses that, I can't say my forefathers because I don't know my genealogy fully, but the white race that I am perpetrated on another race. So, learning that as a 10 or an 11-year-old doesn't seem the right way to introduce the other races, especially when you're in an isolated community like we were. It's an interesting question, but it might be something that some educator somewhere comes up with. That you teach little kids the difference of races at like kindergarten, first grade level, and then get to the history later on. That way they don't have a negative connotation the first time they come across something that's different. So
I see your point, but the people of color didn't just begin at slavery. The history began long before that.
I'm saying introducing to the cultures of the world before you introduce yourselves to history, so that you have an understanding of the different cultures that exist before getting to the points of like, okay, so your people did this, your people did this, your people did that.
Right. And so we're saying the same thing, but we're saying it differently. We're saying it differently. That's all. See, I'm from Brooklyn, okay? So, listen. for me, growing up, half black, half Puerto Rican, yeah. So come on, somebody, Boricuas in the building. Yes. Okay. That's not why we're here. But for me, growing up, you know how you've heard, especially if you've never been out of the state of California, New York is a melting pot, and that is the absolute truth. So racism for me, I didn't really experience that until I left New York. Not that it wasn't going down in New York, but because everybody is all mixed up together in this one little lovely pot, sometimes not so lovely, but it's a lot of interracial marriages, children, and it's not like a big deal. Mostly blacks and Hispanics, but even blacks and whites, blacks and Asians, like it wasn't like a big deal. But when I left New York and traveled and went to school and doing all these things, it was like, well, wait a minute. So I'm like calling home saying, Mommy, what's up with this, that, and the third? Because that's not how I was raised. That's not my experience. But then as you continue to study, you talk to people, and I'm a very open and transparent person. So I will talk to you. I will step to you. Like you sitting right there. I would be like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Where you from? Like da-da-da-da-da. Because I wanted to know. So I just think it's important, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but the history for all of us, if we took the time to trace our ancestry and our genealogy, that history began long before us. And we might not be what we think we are. I'm just saying.
I just want to say, because I know this has to be the end, I love how the more passionate she got, the stronger her New York accent became. I'm just saying.
I want to once again thank the cast and the Playwright.
Thank you for coming out. Tell all your friends to come tomorrow, same time.
Same bad time. None of this happens without support, so I want to identify the two people who are critical in this. Sheila Rose and Miriam Antajui. Where's Miriam at? Reminder, we will see you tomorrow for your poster presentation, 11:30 noon. Also, thank the faculty, College One's faculty, thank you as well. And we will see you tomorrow, midday. Thank you.